Good morning, everybody. My name is Marcel Van Hemert, and this is Mr. Delgado. Sir, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to allow me to conduct this interview.
I'm honored, Marcel. Thank you for doing this.
So I'm representing the students of Christopher Columbus High School for VIP 305 Miami. This interview will be published in their next magazine, as well as be posted to their YouTube page. Sir, are you ready to begin?
I'm ready. Let's go ahead.
All right. So when did you first become the moderator for CCNN Live?
I first took over CCNN in 2006 from Mr. Sal Canella, who was the founder of CCNN Live back in 1991. The teacher back then, the principal back then, Brother Pat McNamara, came up to me because I owned and operated my own video company. And he said, listen, we have CCNN, we want you to take over. I think you do a great job. And I kind of did it at first. And at first we were just a morning news announcement show. And in 2008, they built this wonderful building, the Mascanosa brothers. I brought on my partner, Christina Nsuo, who I couldn't run this without. And that was Murder, She Wrote. I mean, we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
All right. And what has been your favorite part about being the broadcast teacher here at CCNN?
I think my favorite part of being the broadcast teacher is the fact that my kids grow. I like to see them grow. And it really has very little to do with the broadcast side of it. That's just what we do here. But I really like the personal one-on-one interaction, seeing my kids become from boys to men, keeping up with them even after they graduate, and following their careers in PR, in marketing, in journalism, in entertainment. I really like that. I feel like we're a family even after we graduate from Columbus.
Awesome. And in total, how many Emmys have your students won?
We've done pretty well with the Emmys. The Suncoast chapter, which is the southeast part of the United States and Puerto Rico, we have gotten 5. In the last 5 years, we've won 21 regional Emmys and 5 national Emmys. So it's been a pretty good run so far.
That's awesome. And how does it feel to be a teacher and a mentor to these award-winning students?
I mean, it was my calling. I know that now. At 39, I know that I was meant to be a teacher. I love my students. I know I'm very, very hard on them. I know I pushed them beyond their limits, but it's because I believe in them, and that's the best part. It's amazing. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm helping boys become men, like I said earlier.
Awesome. What has been the most memorable moment that you've had here with CCNN?
I've had a lot. And there are some really, really good ones, but I think when we first took that step to go from local to statewide to national, we joined an organization called Student Television Network, as you know, and we compete every year in a different city in the country. And I remember going to the first one ever in Orlando, and when we competed, it was a lot of hard work. We practiced countless hours, and we fell just a little short, you know? We came in 3rd place, and then that following year from Orlando, we went to San Diego, California. And I'll never forget, we turned in our piece. We waited 4 days. We were at the closing ceremonies, and they were about to name the 2015 Student Television Network National Champions. And they called our name, and I'll never forget, I had my student, Danny Villanueva, standing right next to me. He kind of jumped and just was hugging me, like arms and legs and everything. And I was just trying to keep one hand up. And it was one of those memories that I'll never, ever forget. We followed it up again in 2016 with another national championship, and that memory's awesome as well, but it's never as sweet as the first one. That first one will always stick to me for the rest of my life.
That's amazing. And what are you most proud of about your students' work here at CCNN?
I'm proud that they are actual real journalists. They don't have to deal with the bureaucracy and the politics of being in the mainstream media. They find stories that are important to them. They find stories that really mean something, and they tell the story as honestly as possible with no bias. They say it from their heart, and it really comes through in their pieces, and I think that's what distinguishes them from every other school.
Awesome. And speaking about other schools, what are you trying to do differently from those other schools across the country and locally and regionally?
It's a great question. Marcel, I have a shirt, and the shirt is just a box, and right below the box, it's the word think. So we think outside the box. I don't have a typical broadcast journalism background. I don't have the education I think other teachers have, so I'm not restricted to what their guidelines are. I try to do things the way I think would work, what I would like to see on TV, what I would like to, stories I would like to hear about. And with that, I think that's what makes CCNN different. It's that we turn left when everyone else is making it right.
All right. And what are your future goals for CCNN?
To keep developing young men into strong, powerful men in our community, to watch them grow, and to keep on producing quality work that they can be proud of.
All right. And how has the technology that your students have been using changed over the years?
Oh, when I first started here, we were still on mini DV tapes, and I'm sure you don't know what that means because that's way before your time. But we used to record on tape, and then we have to, if we recorded for 15 minutes, we spend 15 minutes importing that footage into a computer. Now you just get a memory card and bam, 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 or you drop it or airdrop it or send it through email. So the technology has allowed us to have a quicker turnaround. It's allowed us to do some work that I would say 10, 15 years ago wasn't even humanly possible for teenagers to do. So
that's awesome.
That's what the technology did for us.
All right. And if it wasn't for CCNN, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Wow. I'd definitely be teaching at Columbus because this is my home and I love this school. I mean, it turned me into the person I was and I'm so grateful for it. I don't know, I'd probably be doing something that's leading men. I don't think I'd find the passion or the joy that I get from doing at CCNN because I really found my niche here at Columbus. But I mean, I've worn many hats here. I was a basketball coach at one time. I ran student government. So for some reason, my partner Christina and I are always doing these kind of jobs. But it'd be doing something that would be turning our boys into men.
All right. And if you had no limits on CCNN, what would you do with it?
Man. We'll save that answer for another time.
All right.
I can't really say out loud.
That's awesome. Now, sir, I want to open up the floor to you to say anything else to our audience about CCNN or about Columbus. If you want to promote the school, if you want to promote upcoming events, anything that you want to say, the floor is yours.
Okay. So for all of you out there that are watching or listening to this, thank you for giving your time to listen to me. If you ever see one of my boys out on the street and they ask you a question, just spend time. Give them the answer that they're asking for or what you think is best. Because they're journalists. They're real journalists. It doesn't matter if they're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. They're journalists, and they're trying to do their job as best as possible. So when they're out there and they're trying to find a story and they're trying to be better journalists, just help them along the way because these are the young men that are going to be leading us in the next 10, 15 years. So just give them a shot. You'll be surprised at what these kids could do if they're just given the opportunity to.
All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to allow me to conduct this interview and opening up to the community.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.